Hey, what's going on, guys? Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. If you have not seen my previous video, just going over the XRP chart and a little speculation on where we see this going if it does follow a Misego per se, it would be really exciting. If you guys are familiar with statistics and how it was originally founded, you'll know that, for example, if you have, 100 people and they all guess the weight of, an elephant, they actually find out that the average of those amounts is far closer than if an individual were to guess. So I kind of treat that like price predictions and expectations in the future. Just for fun, would love to hear your thoughts of what will occur, as we know that, again, Ripple's Swell event is occurring October 14th to the 15th. Typically, we have either a pre-pump where it will, go up 20, 30, even 70%, or, a dump beforehand. I want to know what you guys think. Again, 2020 has definitely surprised me in a lot of ways. So, just like that quote, expect the unexpected. So I want to talk a little bit about what we're seeing across the market. Again, Flare, if you guys have not checked out, they did release a document with instructions on how to claim your Spark tokens when the time comes. You guys can find this again, Flare Networks, and you can read all about it, talking about unlocking value, all starting with XRP, because obviously there's not interoperability and 75% of the value is not touched yet. So of course, a bridge asset, specifically a highly liquid one, could serve to do just that and mitigate that friction. Next, what I'm seeing high level is across the board what we saw, last year before that market crash. So we have Apple Inc. Again, their CEO, Timothy Cook, is already sold $131 million of shares. Now, I don't want to have too many assumptions here. All of these people could be selling off for own personal reasons. I don't want to over speculate. But let's just simply see if we see, other CEOs and other, high-tiered individuals do the same. Could this be a sign of, someone just taking profit and being conservative? Or do they know something we don't and are anticipating a dump in the equities market? Again, there's been many predictions. We know we're long overdue. We saw a sharp crash earlier this year. Are we due for another one? You tell me, all right? Just wanted to share that with you. So let's keep an eye on some other CEOs in other groups as well. All right, I want to play this clip because this is going to tie into everything I'm talking about today with multi-hop and XRP and obviously all of RippleNet's functionality. If you've already seen this clip, go ahead and fast forward 2 minutes. Again, it's showing Craig DeWitt speaking here and showing how, again, single connections, the ability to really get, honestly, just dive in deep to entire markets through a single connection. So listen to this. This is shared by Lord XRP. Thank you for sharing this clip. If you've already seen it, fast forward 2 minutes.
We're going to talk about a functionality of RippleNet that a lot of people have questions about, multi-hop. What is it? How does it work?
Well, first off, multi-hop gives RippleNet members the ability of transacting with banks or payment providers or digital wallets that they don't have a direct relationship to. That's so important because in today's world, you need a bunch of bilateral relationships clunkily put together in a chain in order to move money. That means A has a relationship with B has a relationship with C, and they have to hand off information like playing a game of telephone. Multi-hop makes that a thing in the past.
So who on RippleNet is using this feature?
So a couple weeks ago, we announced that Siam Commercial Bank was using multi-hop, and what that means is they are allowing customers to facilitate payments through Siam Commercial Bank into Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, and Vietnam. So the sender has the ability of getting deep reach and deep access into this entire region, and the receiver has the ability of getting payments with more value on them because the fees are less, with complete visibility and transparency.
And is this relationship both ways? So those receivers that you were saying are in Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, can they send payments out through multi-hop to the other institutions they're not directly connected to?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So one of the great things about the technology that underpins this is that it works like the internet works. Information can go both ways. So Cambodia can facilitate payments outside of that relationship back into RippleNet. Very much how the internet works today. So like the internet, there's a lot of paths of getting your money or your information where it needs to go.
And now also just keep in mind for the future of streaming payments, batching payments, again, there's no more limitations where it has to go A, B, C, D. It can go A to Z, X to Y, anywhere bidirectional at any time at all.
So one of the things that multi-hop allows are multiple quotes to be returned to the user. And those quotes will have different paths of payments that are available. So you can choose based on the cheapest path or the fastest path and make sure that you're able to.
And notice each client is going to value something more. Do they want speed? Do they want cost? Again, it's going to differ every single time.
Deliver your customers the type of experience that they need. Now, what's great about this is that some of these paths, what we're seeing already in terms of the tests that we're doing, are the cheapest and the fastest when they go through XRapid.
That means through XRP. That is initially, or today it is called ODL, on-demand liquidity. This is an older video, but again, I want to show the functionalities that RippleNet has. It is going to be a behemoth and one of the biggest global networks. Now, XRP will play a role, and we'll see that obviously grow in time. We already know the game plan. We know the roadmap. They've been transparent. And again, it is simply a game of patience. Patience takes a long time. So keep in mind right there, we don't have to sign over 6,000 banks. You don't have to sign over 11,000 banks or 10,000 banks. You can, again, just get the gateways per se, or even the technology providers. Now, speaking of technology providers, we have, of course, on the real-time payments, again, in the domestic use case for the United States, we can go right here on their website, theclearinghouse.org, the real-time payment network ecosystem. You guys can go through the participants if you'd like and kind of go through and see, obviously some of the first RippleNet customers, MUFG, one of the biggest banks in the world, period. We can talk about all of that, HSBC, someone to really watch, FYI, BNY. We can go on and on about these groups. But again, the tech providers, which I reference a lot, we'll talk about ACI Worldwide, again, CGI, intelligent gateways for Ripple. We have Finastra, 9,000 partners right there, RippleNet enabled. It does not mean they're using XRP, but again, they are enabled and can do so. Again, FIS, Fidelity, huge. We've talked about their connections, WorldPay, Amazon. Again, it's a lot more connected than we realize. And then Volante, we're talking at least on the low end, $2 trillion per day in payment volume. And they're a tech provider, also Ripple enabled. We've talked about them. We've shown documents of obviously their, their module in particular for XRP. All right, so Volante just posted this before making this video, so I guess it was perfect timing. Ripple plans to diversify and become the Amazon of the cryptocurrency world, as reported by Payments, Cards, and Mobile. All right, so again, they're talking about it. They're talking about XRP. Just thought that was fun. Again, all innovation. We want competition. We want competitors because it will drive us further and faster. All right. So again, remember, ACI Worldwide, they are a behemoth. I know many of you know this, but I want to repeat this for newcomers and tie it all together. So hang on to this thought with ACI. We know that they process $14 trillion per day. Watched videos. I've shown the clips in the past of the gentleman of ACI Worldwide saying, yes, we are processing so much money on a daily basis that essentially it is $5 million moving as fast as you can snap your finger consistently or consecutively. So again, that's $5 million every single time. And that is one technology provider. Understand how much volume that is. And even if just a fraction of that goes over XRP in such a nascent market today, you do the math. All right. So, in recent news, I believe I saw Wrath of Kahneman share this as well. This was on businesswire.com. So we have Zara picks DLocal, again, a RippleNet partner, just so you guys know, to support e-commerce operations in Uruguay, or Uruguay, if you guys want to say it like an Englishman, or, an American, Uruguay and Paraguay. I say Uruguay and Paraguay. But again, we got DLocal. We know their connections with even groups like Alipay as well. So this is all throughout, again, Latin America, the regions. Again, there's many illiquid corridors. And also, every time I think of Latin America, of course, these countries are important. But we have to notice that there's a BRICS nation that resides there as well, Brazil. Okay? So again, we can read all about this. Notice what's happening with, Facebook Pay in Brazil. Pay attention to that. We know that they're already speaking with this, again, the president of the central bank. This is not coincidental. All of these groups are, again, it's all about interoperability, updating the financial, ability of their systems. Might not just be all about XRP with settlements. It's about messaging. It's about real-time payments. And there's a lot that has to go into it to replace this archaic infrastructure. Okay. So now in tandem with DLocal, we have, WeChat by Tencent, we have Alipay by Alibaba, and then UnionPay to portfolio of emerging market payments. Again, just like MoneyGram has been on a spending spree, an acquisition spree, partnership spree throughout Africa, we have DLocal going throughout Asia and also South America, and really just Latin America. So you have to pay attention to these at a high level. Again, they're all getting connected. For what? Maybe for a more efficient system. Okay, so again, we have WeChat. We know that, again, they're developed by Tencent, massive group. Okay, mobile payments. And we also have Alibaba, Alipay. Again, this is one of the largest mobile networks, and it overtook PayPal in 2013. So it's been, quite some time. And then we can even talk about Ant Group. Again, formerly Ant Financial, might be one of the biggest IPOs in history. And yes, I am talking about this because it has to do with payments, and we know where payments are going. You guys heard me rant in the previous video. You cannot have all of this customer information, all of these payment data, and all this payment data on a single server at a single location. There is obviously, with centralization, if that breaks, There's no resiliency. There's an issue of trust. There's a lot. So it's going to become distributed. Again, distributed ledger tech is going to help us in, again, mitigating risk, creating trust, mutual trust in an ecosystem, and obviously real-time payments. And I think we have a long way to go, but I'm beyond excited, specifically what this means for our investments taking place in these open source protocols now, right? There's going to be, it's hero or zero with these assets. I don't believe there's going to be an in-between. It's not going to be, oh, it kind of does well. It's either going to die or go up substantially. I don't even want to give you a price prediction. I think you guys get it. This is all the value. This is not just all the fiat. This is tokenized value. And we're seeing groups like Securitize working on tokenizing commercial real estate. And I think you guys understand the trillions of dollars, aka potentially hundreds of trillions of dollars in the real estate market alone. Okay, so we have Ant Financial. Again, I believe they changed their name to Ant Group. Formerly, again, all connected with Alipay. Yes, they're going to have their own permissioned ecosystems. I don't think China's going to want to be, utilizing XRP per se, but we're showing competition. We understand the issues with Bitcoin and proof of work. We see what ETH is working on. And we also see with XRP now, even working on interoperability and bridging XRP and the Ethereum ecosystem. This is big. All right. Next, so ACI, we're going to talk about them in a minute just to kind of tie it all together. I know many of you have seen this document on You Today. Ripple partner ACI Worldwide joins eBanks in making new payment solutions for Latin America. Again, eBanks based out of Brazil, right? So new payment methods for residents of Latin America. So again, new payment methods. Another use case, not just settlements. I'm just showing you that they're all ramping up. So Business Wire reported ACI Worldwide, which has used RippleNet since 2019. Again, RippleNet is not XRP. It has the interoperability and ability to do so. They've also partnered and had a partnership deal with eBanks to improve the online payments ecosystem in Latin American countries, and I'd imagine there's a lot of work to do. As we can see, ACI Worldwide has teamed up with Brazil-based eBanks, okay? Among their customers is the heavyweight AliExpress. Interesting. So again, all interoperability, and then notice that this pandemic is encouraging people to avoid physical money. So again, the narrative to go more cashless, not 100%, but drive us more towards digital payments. This is the story. This is the push. Again, chaos at another level potentially could be order in the future. Okay, so on ACIWorldwide.com, we can see any payment, every possibility. And just like we were talking about with multi-hop and Craig DeWitt was mentioning, we can see 6,000 organizations around the globe. Right here, we have largest financial institutions and intermediaries, 1,000, and then $14 trillion in payments and securities per day. Okay, and then also, just so you guys know, ACI Universal Payments, the UP initiative, we can see ACI supports around 9% of SWIFT's global traffic, and approximately 30% in the United States. It's a lot of volume. All right, you guys use your imagination there, what that means for any of that volume that will go over open sourced ecosystems, because they still need to be bridged, and eventually there will be issues of trust. For example, if this were to be the case, JP Morgan coin is not going to, JP Morgan might want to use their intranet with JPM coin, and if Bank of America made their own coin for their own walled garden, they have, BOA coin. But how are they going to transact? One of them is going to have to trust the other, or are they going to be using open source protocols as they become more distributed? Of course, XRP, of course, a lot of these ecosystems start off centralized, but again, it is the top-down approach for distributing this ecosystem, just like any proof of stake protocol, any type of proof of stake asset you guys see. It starts off relatively centralized by the, authority, the person that actually holds it, and it becomes distributed over time. If you're familiar with the digital asset FET by, Fetch AI, I'm really, really fascinated with what they're doing, in particular with AI and machine learning. It's the same concept. They even say, yes, we, start off relatively centralized in terms of, if you guys believe, governance and, actual holdings, but there's a greater plan. It's much more than just our tribalism and saying XRP is centralized. I don't care if it's centralized or decentralized, and you might not like me for that. I'm here for a return on my investment, period. I see the emerging tech. I don't think the anarchist point of view is going to win. So I am simply here to try to obviously make some generational wealth. ACI Worldwide offers services to banks around the world wanting to connect to and leverage Swift's GPI, ripoff of Xcurrent. ACI also supports, and here's where we mentioned Ripple, real-time schemes around the world, meaning that any bank can use RTP systems, real-time payment, to support Swift and then DLT, for example, Ripple. Okay, So I think we can see where this is going. We know Swift, obviously. Ripple, no doubt in my mind, RippleNet will, obtain a chunk of Swift, whether it replaces it, whether it enhances it, enables it. I don't care. I believe that we are going to get a definite chunk in this ecosystem. And yes, they are starting on illiquid corridors. And obviously, as that volume goes up, we're going to see the speculative and utility-based ground floor rise day in, day out. Okay? 2020. So again, Matthew LINY, showing this MFS, Africa, in MoneyGram. Again, Ripple owns essentially 10% of MoneyGram in terms of stake. Now partner for African Financial Pathways, another country that is obviously has a huge, large, unbanked population that needs help. There's many fragmented, siloed networks that need interoperability, mobile networks, banks, different branches. And again, they need to make this change. And so there's many groups, just like Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, help mitigating this just like Mojo Loop with Interledger Protocol, which was created by Ripple. So we have a third African partner this week. I mean, they're just coming like dominoes, guys, and it's so hard to keep up with all of this. So we have Airtel, Thune, and MFS, okay? Then also Ripple Swell, shared by XRP Yoda. Just wanted to show you this again. Swell.ripple.com. You guys can register. Hopefully you can get in. We will see. Okay, now lastly, I wanted to talk about this. I thought this was really, really interesting. Again, this is X_Anderson, has a great YouTube channel as well. Again, you can find it at Anders Lundberg. Phenomenal video. I love his short and sweet videos to the point. Speculate as you will. And again, we will see. You guys can say everything is hype, but even the YouTubers that are against hype, they wouldn't be here unless they were excited for the future and the potential of this ecosystem. So right here, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO, told us that banks would custody digital assets directly in 2019 and that it would surprise us. We all were so excited. There were hypey videos saying, banks are going to hold cryptocurrency because a CEO said it of a multi-billion-dollar company, and it didn't happen. And then a year later, it happens. It took a little longer than expected, but banks are now allowed to do so, and that's crazy. Thanks to the OCC, Brian Brooks, again, formerly at Coinbase. Now he obviously took a huge salary cut to get into this position. Why? Are these chess pieces moving at play? You tell me. Now, keep in mind, Brad Garlinghouse also told us major banks will use XRP. So what I'm saying here is he going to surprise us again, or is he wrong? Let me know your thoughts, guys. All right? Genuinely curious. Hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Thanks.